we have 4 simple rules. Number 1, we don't discuss politics, ever. Number 2, this is not a religious channel, and while you might hear people say, God bless you, or I'm going to pray for you, or I wouldn't have gotten through this without my faith, that's fine. What's not fine is to say, my God is better than your God, or here's why you're not getting into heaven. It's not going to fly. Number 3, we believe wholeheartedly if you can't control your tongue, then you can't control your life. So while on board, there's not going to be any cursing in the live chat, period. And number 4, there is no room for mean people on the lifeboat. Because we discuss very sensitive things from people's past in our group setting, we got to protect those people. The only way they feel confident and comfortable discussing those things is in an environment that is free of trolls and mean people. So if you're a mean person or you're a troll, we're going to block you for life. And if your account happens to be less than 24 hours old, we're probably a little suspicious right from the word go. Why? Well, because there are people in this world who enjoy being cruel solely for the sake of being cruel. It's not going to fly here. But if you're here because you're trying to get sober and live your best life, then you might find that the lifeboat is just that, a lifeboat. I'm Captain Tommy Scoville, and we will see you on deck. I'm Captain Tommy Scoville, and you're on the lifeboat on YouTube. Happy New Year, everybody. This is the end of 2021, and I don't know about you people, but I am happy that this is the end of 2021. It has been quite a year, has it not? Everything going on in the world, this is going to be a fun one to put in the rearview mirror. And everybody knows what New Year's means, right? All kinds of resolutions are going to be made. There are going to be a lot of people talking about changing their lives. And of course, wherever you've got people changing their lives, you got the lifeboat. So we're back. We're on YouTube and reaching out to new harbors, new places. There's a lot of people that we want to celebrate today. As I've said from the very first day that we got rolling, there's a couple of things that we do. And one of them is we own our past. And the other is we celebrate our victories. And we celebrate them as a family because that's how we get them. This is never a situation where, we celebrate the victories as if we did it on our own, because it's never happened here. It's never happened once. It doesn't happen when the boat is successful, and it certainly doesn't happen when the people on the boat are successful, but there is a lot of stuff that we can celebrate as a crew. It's been fantastic. And I'll tell you something else that's unusual. This is it just so happens that New Year's falls on the birthday of the lifeboat. It is officially 5 months since we pushed this thing out of the dock for the first time. Of course, back then we called it the Tommy Scoville Show, and a lot has happened in 150 days. It's been remarkable. The achievements of the boat have been great, and they've all been yours. But there have been a few things that have happened along the way that really have changed my life. First of all, my partner, getting Mark involved with the lifeboat was probably the best thing that I ever did, and really happy to have him. And guess what, people? He's here. The bobblehead is back. And I'll tell you something, he looks like $1 million. He really does. I'm super excited about it. And as I look over there, the crew is here. Pam, good to see you. Arizona Raven, Charlie Mullins, Truth 760, Joanna W, Brittany Has Eyes, Keith Andrews, Miss V, looking blue in the best of ways. Lady Fiona Crispin, good to see you. Hope your head is doing better. But I'll tell you something, people, it's here. 2022 is a mere hours away. On the East Coast, they'll be celebrating it very, very shortly. Of course, Chi-Chi will be celebrating it even sooner. Leisure Beast, good to see you, bud. Very happy that you're here. People, Mark and I have been doing an awful lot of work during the holiday season. And a lot of the stuff that we were doing was to get the lifeboat ready for 2022, because there is an awful lot that we're ready to do to take this to the next level. 357. Good to see you, brother. Really good to see you. No, the lifeboat did not sink. We are here. And yeah, we're glad you're here as well. Noise Opera, good to see you, my brother. In 2022, people, we talked about taking the boat to a couple of different locations, and we're probably still going to put something together for a place that we can go when we want to have some very, very private stuff, where we don't share with the entire world. However, we're coming back here, and we're going to do it the way that we've always done it, right? We're going to do it with love and with class and with style, because it's what we do. If you see the new sign on the wall, it's not backwards on this particular format, and it says, "Hope anchors the soul." Make no mistake about it, people, it also anchors this boat. If there's one thing that really sort of sets apart the lifeboat from anything else, it's hope. I had an opportunity, for those who have not been with the boat over on the other platform, I had an opportunity to thank everybody on the lifeboat for the gifts that that Mark and I have received from the lifeboat. And we got some nice Christmas stuff, which was cool, but that's not what I'm talking about. I was talking about gifts like caring and compassion, the ability to forgive oneself, the most important gifts in the world, the ones that you can't exchange, the ones that no one's ever going to take away and they don't wear out. But all of those gifts, when you put them all together, what they all really equal is hope. And that's what we peddle. That's what we have always peddled on the lifeboat. It is the opportunity to have hope for the future, and in a way that a lot of people simply don't have. So we went away. And the reason we went away was pretty simple. We were trying to protect the crew from a lot of stuff that's just downright foul. You know what? I realized that we're partners with YouTube. It is what it is. They're our partners. And they push the message as far out as they can. And they do that because they have such a huge heart and they're so kind. I can't back that up. They push it out there because they want to make money on what we do on the lifeboat. And that's fine because it gets the message out to more people. I've met some incredible individuals because of how far this boat gets pushed. We have people all over the world. There are people right now listening to the sound of my voice who have already celebrated New Year's because it is already January 1st in the land of Oz. And, Niall, I hope you're here, Niall. If you're not, I hope you catch this on the replay, but Niall's become a very good friend of mine. And, without YouTube pushing this out into every single harbor known to man, that kind of a relationship couldn't have happened. And I lost sight. I'll take complete and utter credit for this. This one's on me. I lost sight. I wanted so badly to make sure that we could insulate the crew from hate that I lost sight of the fact that the people that really need this boat aren't the crew. Not yet. They're the people out there that need to hear the message that, you know what? There's more of us than there are them. There are more people on this planet with good hearts and good souls who need help. There are more of them than there are anybody else, right? Us, we, the people who need help. And they right now are out there. And if you want to find people that really need to change their life, boy, you're going to be more hard pressed to find any better platform than YouTube. So in spite of any of the lovely things I've said about YouTube in the past, we're pretty happy to be back right now. And we're going to stay. We're going to stay here. We're going to have a platform that people can go to really open up and really talk about what's going on in their lives. However, we're going to find the people who really need to open up and talk about what's going on in their lives right here. You understand? So what we're promising you is that the lifeboat will be on YouTube, that we will be doing what we do. We'll be doing it with class. We're not going to change who we are for any reason. And I also want to guarantee you that there will be a lot more cat in a basket. Check it out. Tell me that this is not a well-behaved pussycat. Every time we go live, Squirrel realizes that she could be a lunatic the rest of the day. But as soon as we turn on the cameras, Squirrel just curls up in her little basket and acts like a good cat, which is awesome. We're also going to be putting up some 1-minute shorts because I've had a lot of people that have emailed and talked about it. Yeah, there are going to be some shorts. There's going to be some really funny stuff concerning the cat. There's going to be some other stuff. There are going to be some changes in 2022, and all of them are designed with one thing in mind, right? Making the boat better, And the purpose of the boat is never going to change, right? What we set out to do isn't going to change. That message of hope, the only thing that has changed in that message is that you people have made it better. Bottom line, that's really what it boils down to. All right, I'm just setting up my teleprompter here, people, because believe it or not, I now have a teleprompter. And of course, you know, I am gifted when it comes to all things technological. So it's going to take me a second here to get this set up. I want to do a couple of shout outs to some people that literally have made the best of a year that has been tough. There are some people who have dramatically changed their lives. And I think it's important that we highlight those people. Mr. Alan Ballantyne has lost a human being. Truthfully, he has lost a small person, somewhere in the ballpark of 100 pounds. If you've seen the before and after pictures of Alan, it's nothing shy of amazing. If you haven't, you need to get over to the Lifeboat page on Facebook because there's a lot of pictures of him up there. It's really amazing what he has done. And I said this on other platforms. When you look at somebody that's lost close to 100 pounds, it takes your breath away. It really does. And in this particular case, it has made him look about 15 years younger. It is amazing how much different Alan looks now that he's down to his target weight. Derek N., by the way, didn't see you. Good to see you, bud. Cindy, good to see you. But Jesse Brown, always a pleasure. But with all of that weight and the fact that you see that and it's the first thing that jumps out at you, it is the least impressive change that Alan Ballantyne has made in 2021. I'm not kidding. The things that this man has done, and I'll tell you something, I have no problem putting my fists in the air and celebrating it. It's the victory of everybody here on the boat. It's something that he did, and it took his dedication and, basically sticking to this and wanting this. That's his accomplishment, but it's our victory. It happens, accomplishment, and when someone has one of those victories, we celebrate it. Stacy Michaels, I have missed you. It's good to see you. Kiss Freak. The whole crew is. I don't know about you, but I am fired up to be back on YouTube. Mark, how do you feel? Good. Mark is, as you know, I love it. It's fun to be back, isn't it? Well, I'm happy that you're back. People, I also want to do a shout out to some of the other people that have just done some amazing things. Flaming Jackson has put something that he was struggling with. And in the course of 2021, he put several things in the rearview mirror, but most recently, his struggles with cannabis, and he's approaching the 2-month mark with that now no longer in his life. And that, people, is awesome. So congratulations to Flaming Jackson, your accomplishment, our victory. Awesome, bud. We're so proud of you. We really are. And just a great guy all the way around. Truthfully, a great guy. Tommy Kessler, good to see you. Tommy says, I'm sober. How cool is that? It's New Year's Eve. People, this is the day, right? Think about it. I mean, I could tell you stories from my past, which I won't, but New Year's Eve was a night for debauchery. And for so many people, instead of celebrating what should be the birth of a new year, they get so intoxicated they can't remember the next day, or all of the different things that this holiday ends up meaning to people. I can't tell you how it touches me that you people have chosen to come here tonight on New Year's to stop onto the Lifeboat. It's a full house, which is awesome. I can't tell you how good it feels to see everybody here. Tommy, good for you, man. That is awesome. It really is. To everybody who is celebrating New Year's with a beverage that doesn't have alcohol in it, Happy New Year. I'm proud of you. I know you're proud of yourself. That's your accomplishment. It really is. But it's our victory. We love it. We really do. And we love that you've chosen to be here with us tonight. Alan Ballantyne, proud of you, brother. Glad that you're here. Truthfully, I am. Have been sober for 2 years from weed and liquor. Good for you, man. For real. Speaking of people who quit both of those habits, we have a gentleman who is rapidly approaching the 30-day mark, which is, and I don't know that I've seen him. Maybe I will hold his shout out because I know he's coming. Yeah, I don't want to do a shout out when he's not here. That just wouldn't be right. You know what? We'll do it twice. Brandon, we're proud of you, man. We really are. Brandon is approaching 2 months, and 5 days ago, I'm sorry, he's approaching the end of the first month, and 5 days ago decided that he was done with weed as well. The transformation in this young guy's life is astounding. It isn't just that he's decided not to use. Watching the person he has become. Charlie Murphy, good to see you. Happy New Year, Charlie Mullins. Really glad that you're here. Charlie, you are really one of the greats. I'm so happy that you're here. To all of those who are fighting the good fight, to all of those on the boat, honestly, if we went through one at a time, we wouldn't have anything to talk about for the rest of the evening. There are so many people who are, putting their life of drugs and alcohol behind them. The excitement that creates is, Brandon, right? I couldn't be more proud. And for those who have been coming over to the other platform and have been watching this young man, there was a time where he got about 15 days under his belt and he stumbled. And people, if you've ever tried to quit, you know what it's like when you relapse. And he relapsed in a place where he didn't need to tell anybody on the planet he relapsed. Seriously, we couldn't see him. He could have come the next day and said, "Hey, I'm on day 18." He didn't. He showed up the next day and he said, "I drank last night." And he was beating himself up and it was really going through it. And everybody on the lifeboat said, "Hey, this is part of it. This is something that happens. You can't beat yourself up for this. Don't let this drag you down." And all of you lifted him up. Bent Genetics, good to see you, man. Happy New Year. And he got about 2.5 weeks under his belt and he stumbled again. And again, he was honest and told us about it. But the difference between those first 2 attempts and this one, all of a sudden, it wasn't just him saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm here and I'm sober." He was posting memes. He was setting up a group page over on Instagram. He just caught fire, for his new life. And the posts that he put up are absolutely amazing. If you haven't seen him, just beautiful stuff. He really is getting to the point where I am so motivated by this guy. I really am. And I said it on a live feed the other day, and I didn't want it to come out the wrong way. But I said, the boy that showed up and was talking to us in the beginning about getting sober, I said, compare that to the man that is here now talking, because the transformation in this young man's life in a really short period of time has been nothing short of miraculous, really. And you know what? It's his accomplishment. It really is.
It's very inspiring, I have to say.
It is it not? It really is.
It really, I think that one in particular story, Brandon, you probably single-handedly helped. I can't even tell you how many people just listening to your story, just by
Amen.
In the chat room. I mean, it's something amazing when people share like that, and that's exactly why we're back here, because that's what happens. The new people see that, they see that we're doing it for the right reasons, and that's why we're here. And let me say this too: Johnny was in here; he's got 996 days sober. He said, so I just want to say congratulations to that. Congratulations there, Johnny.
Yeah, congratulations, brother. And Truth says, people stumble, people fall, many stay down due to embarrassment. They give up, but you got right back up, forgave yourself. It is part of the process of changing your life. And I'll tell you something, Truth, and to everybody else, one of the reasons that he was able to get back up and do what he did was because there was nobody here that passed any kind of judgment on this guy at all. You people were amazing, truthfully. I was talking to somebody yesterday who is trying to get sober, has really reached a place in his life where he really wants to get sober. And because of a lot of situations that are going on, it may be something that has to be postponed. I know that sounds crazy, but if there are situations where, it's just not possible to quit at that particular time. And he said, "You know what, I'll disappear. And when I'm ready, maybe I'll come back." I said, "No, you know what, maybe other places. But at the lifeboat, we want you here. I mean, if you're still in the process of using, then you need our platform more than anybody else, This is a place where people can come and not be judged if currently they're not where they want to be. And that really makes us unique. And let me see here, because I like this. I'm proud of you, Leisure. I know you have been in lots of pain and you still pull through. Love you, my friend. Miss V says the Leisure Beast. Leisure, we have missed you, bud. We really have. You know, I'm going to do a shout out, people, and those on the boat who have been following this will understand it more than the rest. But I want to do a shout out to a gentleman by the name of Daniel, because you know what? If he's not here tonight, he sure as heck is going to see this. And Daniel, my brother, truthfully, I want to thank you, because I would not be on YouTube right now if it wasn't for you. I mean that. For those that don't know the story, I spent about 2 weeks emailing back and forth with a guy named Daniel, and his story mirrored mine so closely. He was a heroin addict, and he started out eating Loratab, and it just got out of control, like it happens to so many people. And when the doctor cut him off, he couldn't quit. So he started buying pills on the street. And that's, if you've ever done that, the price of buying opiates in pill form on the street is incredible. And it leads most people to heroin because it's the cheapest way to get the exact same thing. And that's what happened to Daniel. Daniel started doing heroin, and that escalated like everything does. And his habit got to the point where, to offset the cost of this, he started doing Xanax on top of it, right? Mixing it with a benzodiazepine. If you're listening to me today, anybody, if you mix benzos and pain medication, that's a recipe for death. It killed Heath Ledger. It killed Philip Seymour Hoffman and so many other people, because what happens is you relax so much, and it's a respiratory depressant. It slows down your breathing. So you get to a point where you stop breathing, but are so relaxed that you will not worry about getting that next breath in. So literally it stops you from breathing. And this scared me, because the more I talked to Daniel, the more I realized that this is not a guy that was going to quit. And it was just a matter of time before you get that batch that's going to kill you. There's a lot of stuff going on. You probably saw the video I did on nitazines. This was keeping me up, people, literally keeping me up. And it's not a religious channel, but you know how I feel about prayer. It's an important part of my life. And I was praying for Daniel often. You know, this is something that I spent a lot of time in prayer. And I got the last email from him 2 days ago. And he said, I really want to thank you, Tommy, for all of the help. You really helped me. And I'm paraphrasing people because I threw out the email, which I had written out. But he said, you really helped me waste your time, you stupid F. As it turns out, Daniel wasn't real. I mean, he's a real person, but everything he told me, including the fact that his mother died on Thanksgiving Day. And you know what? I lost loved ones on Thanksgiving Day, oddly enough. Well, no, I take that back. They had a stroke on Thanksgiving Day and died on Christmas. But I know what it feels like to lose somebody on a holiday. It's awful. And he lied about that. You know, I hope nothing happens to his mom in real life. Can you imagine the guilt from karma on that? But truthfully, people, this person doing this made me realize that there are real Daniels. There are real Daniels all over the place. And if I were sitting comfortably in a safe harbor, just talking to the people on the boat who are part of this, I'm not going to find the real Daniels. So this individual might not have had love in his heart, but I'll tell you something. He put love in mine. So Daniel, if you're watching, I'm still praying for you, brother. I promise you I am. In fact, I might have stepped it up a little. I really have, because I think you need the prayers, man. I really do. And I hope you find what you were looking for in that. But thanks so much, man, because I promise you I wouldn't be on YouTube today. It opened my eyes in a way that was perfect. It really was. So I'm happy to be back. Alan Ballantyne says, I'll pray for him. He needs help. You know what? True story, man. True story. Thanks, Alan. I appreciate you. I really do.
I want to say something too, real quick.
Please.
Yeah, and I had something happen in my own personal life with the internet issues and such, to the point where it was affecting my daughter and things like that, and ended up having to call the police. Well, the police ended up really teaching me what to do, and this helped me realize, for what we're going through right here anyway, at least a piece of this, is the fact that we can't block all the negativity. We cannot do that. It's not going to happen. The best thing to do is to teach each other how to deal with it and how to notice it and how to just kind of deflect it. That's all you can do. No matter where you're at in your life, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, that stuff is always going to fly. It's never going to go away. What matters is how you handle it. And what you guys have shown, I think Tommy would agree to me and him both, is that we can lean on each other. And that basically what happens is, and I said this before, we circle the wagon and we just deflect it from each other. And I'm telling you, that's the best way to handle things. And that's all you can do because, if we were to just run away into a hole somewhere, all we're going to do is keep helping each other. We're not ever going to help anybody new. And that's the point. That's the whole point here. And I think the best way to do that is to just share those kinds of things. And obviously, we're not going to go into extreme detail. Doesn't need to be. Everybody understands this. And it's just what it is. And it is inspiring to know that, gosh, I'm down here looking at the chat count and everything. We haven't been on YouTube for how long?
Long time. Weeks.
And bam, all these people are right back. What's that say?
Yeah.
How loud does that speak?
We're supposed to be.
How loud does that speak to people?
Yep.
It's like a bullhorn. It really is. And again, I have to say this because I haven't said it in weeks. It's not me and Tommy. It's you guys. That's why we get so fired up. That's why we do what we do. And I thank you guys for that because not only do we try to circle the wagons, you guys circle the wagons around us every day. It's amazing just to watch that. So thank you for that. It really does help all of us. So anyway.
Jesse Brown said, you know what, that plan backfired, but I really want to thank you because you've made us stronger as a family. Jesse, you nailed it. And Noise Opera says, I'm going to go and comfort my uncle as he feels like drinking his life away. This New Year's due to his auntie passing of cancer. I love you all. I love you all. Hey, we love you too, man. And good for you to go take care of your uncle. Honestly, good stuff. Anytime you go and you help family, that's the best. It's exciting to share y'all with people around me. You know what, Brittany, that's so cool. That really is. That is so cool. And, Mark nailed it. There is so much here that, this is home, whether we like it or not, people. You don't, if you've got a message that you need to get out, you go where that message needs to be, needs to be shared. And we've learned massively as a family. There are things that people aren't going to share on YouTube ever again. We get that. But we're going to find the people that need to share, and we'll give them an opportunity to work through the problems. Truth says, Wages World, I don't have children, but if someone messed with my niece or nephew, bad me would emerge as fast as a first reaction. A lot of trolls need help. Sometimes it is a cry for help. I want to tell you something. They certainly need prayers. Every single one of them, they certainly need prayers. Yo, Tommy, Happy New Year, my brother. And to everyone on the boat, says Space Diesel. Good to see you. We're glad that you're here. Happy New Year to you too. You know what, people? It's good to be back. It really is. And it's great to have the bobble on the other side of the glass. It doesn't really feel like I'm doing it if Mark's not here. There's something about it that just doesn't quite feel right. And I think everybody sort of has felt that. Well, and Mark, you got to take care of yourself, but it's so great to have you back. Ben Genetics says, I almost lost it today. I was ready. It's been a hell of a day. And that beer sounded so good. You know something? There are days that our particular previous substance of choice is going to be much harder to say no to. And let's be honest, people, this is one of those days for a lot of people. Ben, I'm so happy to hear you say that you almost did it because that's awesome. Every single time, people, if you don't get this, please listen, because I'm telling you the truth. Every time you get close, every time you get to a point where you almost don't make it, but you get through it, it's like another layer of armor that you put on. every time you get close, but you manage to conquer it. We talk all the time in the private live chats, the ones that we've been doing. We talk all the time about EQ, your emotional quotient, the tools that you have to cope now that you're not using drugs and alcohol as a way to cope. Every single time you overcome something like you did today, you're stronger. I promise you, you are stronger. And God bless you, man. And thank God. I'm so glad to hear that you didn't do it. I was ready to throw away 3 years. You know what? But you didn't. And for those, this isn't the platform. Right now, it's not the platform, Bent, because I would love to tell people exactly just how tough this is, because I know your story and I know what you're going through, brother. But this isn't the place to discuss it. But I promise you, man, you're in my thoughts and prayers, and I am so proud of you. I really am. I am so proud of you. This has got to be a tough one. This is a tough day. And with everything going on, the fact that you got through it says mountains about a lot of intestinal fortitude. And I'm so happy that you didn't throw 3 years away. People, and you know, it sounds trite when you say things like this, especially when you're the guy getting filmed, but it wouldn't have solved anything. I mean, we all know that when we relapse, we're looking for that answer. We're looking for the thing that's going to take everything away. And what it does instead is it adds a new layer to the problem every time. No one has ever relapsed and said, boy, am I glad I did that. You know what I mean? Like I did that smack last night and everything just got good. It sounds ridiculous, right? Because it's never been uttered. Nobody ever falls off the wagon and says, I'm sure glad that I did that. Perfect place for unspoken prayers. Brittany, what a beautiful thing to say. Really, what a beautiful thing to say. The Lifeboat and Wages World, thank you both so much for everything you have done for this family. You are touching lives. Helping others is the most selfish thing you can do for your soul. Amen. There is nothing more selfish than what Mark and I are doing. Believe that, people. I'm telling you, I told the story. You guys haven't heard it because I didn't tell it on Facebook, but I have neighbors across the street that are in their 80s. Every single time it snows, I run across the street and I shovel. And the wife will come running out in slippers in a snowstorm to try to put $20 in my pocket. And I got to either try to hide it in the mailbox or, you know, get my mom to try to sneak it back over to them or whatever the case may be. And the other day I just said, you know what, I told him, I said, this is how I get a buzz these days. This is how I get joy. I'm a recovered addict. I don't use anymore. And you're stealing from me, you know, a buzz, something that I get that really is important to me. Then they said, great, you know what, shovel it, which was awesome. Yeah, V has called me up a few things and that she's got through. I'm glad my friend has found a home and a purpose in the Lifeboat and all of the awesome people here. Thanks, everyone. You know something? I've said this to a lot of people. I really have. And one of the best things you ever did was invite Miss V here, truthfully, because you know, I say it all the time, but she was made for the Lifeboat and the Lifeboat was made for her. It's a perfect fit. I'm really happy that Miss V found the boat, and it's, you know, it was because you invited her. It was a great thing. It really was such a good fit. Brittany Has Eyes says, yes, addicted to giving back is great. You know what? There are things that you can get addicted to that are pretty cool, and that is definitely one of them. This is absolutely therapy. Mark and I say it all the time. We get more out of this than you can possibly imagine. We were so stoked last night. We're talking about coming back to YouTube and what we do. And honestly, man, I bet anyone listening, we sounded like kids because this is fun. I can't begin to tell you how much fun this is. It really is.
Let me say this. This is like one of those things that was like, this is confirmation. I said that to Tommy when it happened. We were talking about everything. We hadn't really decided 100% we were coming back here yet. And then we both said it at the same exact time in a text. It was crazy. Amazing, honestly. He was thinking the exact same thing as I was, and we typed it. And you type it, you said it at the same time because they both flashed on the screen at the same time, both messages. I was like, wow.
And the funny thing is this, if the message on both sides had been, yeah, let's go back, that would still be amazing. But the message was this long. we were typing the reason we wanted to go back, what the drawbacks were, why those drawbacks don't matter, and all of that stuff. And they just went boom. And both of us started typing the laugh and everything else. It really was. And we both said, boy, if that isn't confirmation, you know what I mean? If that's not a sign, what is? But yeah, it was really funny stuff. Ben says, I was in the store picking out a beer, and then I got frustrated on all of the flavors and I stormed out. You know something? I'm not laughing. Yeah, I am, but I'm laughing with you. I promise, brother. You know how many times you hear people talk about moments of clarity and the things that bring them on? There are people who have, for any number of crazy reasons, just, decided that they weren't going to make the mistake. I'm so glad there were a lot of flavors in that store, brother. I'm so glad that, there's a store in my hometown where I grew up, in a very small town in Vermont. And if you went in and said, hey, do you have Heineken? The woman used to say, we sell two kinds of beer. No, in this town, there's only two kinds of beer, Budweiser and Free. They literally sold one beer in this store. So whenever I would go back on vacation, I would send my friends in and say, yeah, go in there and ask them if they've got, and just whatever, pick one off the top of my head. And he'd come back and go, they only sell one kind of beer. Like, yeah, welcome to small town Vermont. But I'm so glad that you were in a store that had way too many options. Bent, that's just, miracles come in a lot of different shapes and sizes. They don't always make a whole lot of sense, but you know what? They don't come often enough. So when they come, just thank God that it happened, and that you stormed out of there, because right now you're among family and friends.
Yep.
And you're sober.
Well, the fact that that's all it took to get you to do the right thing says that you're actually in a lot better place than what you think you are.
Right. True story.
If that made you mad enough to say, screw it, I'm out, then you're actually in a pretty good place in your head. You just had a weak moment. That's kind of the way I look at it anyway.
No, and that makes a whole lot of sense. Let me see if I can up this a little bit. I want to make sure that sign is in there. Oh. The problem with anything you put on a tripod is this thing right here. Right? This thing can mess with a tripod, a camera. I've got some stuff that needs to get edited, but this cat did stuff to a Christmas tree today that when you see will absolutely kill you. It's some of the funniest stuff you've ever seen.
I think what we're going to do. Go ahead.
Reminds me of going to a bar in Charleston, West Virginia. I asked for Sam Adams, and they said they don't sell imports. That is funny.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Do you know something? You know how long it's been since I have seen a 21 anchor salute? Feels good to be here with you all, says Pamela Swan, and tossed out a 21 anchor salute. Boy, it's good to be back. Huh? So cool.
Yep. I think something else that we're going to do, guys, we've been talking about this for a while, and we're probably going to go ahead and pull the trigger on it. With the 1 minute shorts and stuff, I think if we post them here and start a TikTok channel, it could actually pull some people over here. I think maybe we might do that. Post some 1 minute shorts over there too. We'll see. It's something me and Tommy's been kicking around. Not sure if that's going to work out or not, but we'll see. But the 1 minute shorts will definitely help here. I mean, just to put some comedy, into it a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I like it. Keith from Andrew's Pepper Patch says, praise report. The lifeboat blessed an entire Midwest community. What you're doing is way bigger than you realize. Love you, Tommy and Mark. What a cool thing to say, man. I'll tell you what, Keith, you blessed that town. Honestly, it was great to get a plaque that honored the lifeboat, but that was you, brother. And your you know what? Your modesty says a lot about who you are, but really that was your doing. And it's good stuff too, by the way.
Yes.
That sauce is amazing.
We all love you, Keith, for sure.
We do, Keith, and keep doing what you're doing, because it, you're making a difference. You really are.
Tommy, I could I'll see if I can't help that on our end.
Well, you know what? A lot of that's the cat. It is what it is. But I can't tell you how many people emailed me and messaged me that said, we need more cat in a basket. So here you go. You got it. We have to protect these younger people. I think TikTok would be a great outreach. You know what? Brittany, that makes an awful lot of sense. And Fiona Crispin agrees. She says, Brittany has eyes. Exactly. I agree. You know something, people? TikTok is messed up. It is messed up. And if we're learning anything, it's that the more messed up the platform is, the more it needs the lifeboat. And I'm not being arrogant. I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about you people. If there is any place in the world that is dark, then it needs light. And this boat is light.
And so, something else I want to say real quick. Guys, if you guys got ideas or if you're thinking kind of the same things we are, let us know. We said this so much. This is your guys' boat. We're just here just trying to pilot it a little bit. If you think you would want us to try something like that, and sometimes that's all, me and Tommy talk about a lot of things that we could do. And sometimes it takes comments like that to confirm, hey, maybe we should go ahead and try that. So if you guys have stuff like that, please don't be afraid. Nobody's ever going to get offended. Just throw it out there. And if it doesn't work, if we tried, it doesn't work, then okay, we tried.
92 days sober, Mark, for Cemetery 76. 92 days sober. That's good stuff, Cemetery.
That's awesome.
Seriously, that's awesome.
That first 3 months is hard. And your 3 months, man, that's awesome.
You know something? Everybody seems to think Brittany's got a great idea there. Brittany has eyes. Wow, that is a great point. I'm 45 and I feel like a grandpa with social media. The younger generation are on different platforms. You know something? You feel like I am a grandpa. I mean, on social media, not in real life, thank God. But in social media, Mark will tell you, and you all know, right?
Hey, let me say something there, though, too. Guys, over on Facebook, I did absolutely nothing. Nothing. That was him.
And it shows.
Well, but the fact of the matter is, you were still there. People were still there. I mean, it's not like it was it's not a bad thing. I mean,
no, I
appreciate
that.
I think you do a lot better than what you actually think you do.
I appreciate that. It does look a lot smoother when you're here, though.
Well, I love the set you set up in the background. I mean, it really.
Yeah, this was the new change for 2022. Some better lighting. And there's some things that we're doing a little different because the boat ain't going anywhere.
And, and on the TikTok thing there a little bit, I think the reason why that might work for us is because, let's face it, especially our younger generation, the attention span is about a minute long.
Right.
So if you could say really something like just some sort of inspirational quote type of thing or whatever that's related to what we do, and there's a ton of those I can go back and pick out to the videos. That's what I'm trying to say. It would be nothing more than clipping it and pasting it and posting it.
Yeah.
So sometimes, guys, just like when he went in there and couldn't had so many flavors of beer. Sometimes that's all it takes is to come across a video when you don't even know you need it, and something will be said in a little 1 minute short, and we give them that avenue to come over here. They come check it out. I just think it would be good. TikTok is huge. No. That's a huge platform.
I do think that's technical, Tommy, says Seventh Son. Yeah, no, that's me. No, you do make a really good point, as far as the attention span goes. But, I did that video on Knitazines, and we posted it. Mark edited it, about 3 weeks ago, something like that. 2 weeks ago, maybe.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
And knits, for those that didn't catch that video, is it's a new form of opiate. Actually, it's an old form of opiate, but it's now on the streets, and it's as much as 30 times stronger than fentanyl. And you hear these things, and then I was on the phone talking with somebody in Florida. A mother got me on the phone with a child, well, a young adult, but her child, to try to talk to the person because they're addicted, and the person's not ready to quit. But I said, what are you paying? You try to build some kind of a rapport without sounding like you're lecturing. So the first questions are always, what kind of dope are you doing? What are you paying for it? You know what I mean? How much dope are you slamming a day? That kind of thing. And I said, have you ever heard of knits? And this person said, yeah, they're more expensive, but you get way more for your money. And I thought, I didn't have to explain what this was. I didn't have to get into it. What I said was, have you ever heard of Knitazines? She goes, knits? And it's terrifying, people. I mean, it's terrifying. That stuff is out there, and it's real. And you're right. You look at something people come and look things up. I spoke with a father last week who was looking stuff up on YouTube because he lost his son and he couldn't find answers anywhere. And what he said was there were other videos on opiates and the overdoses and stuff. He said, but it's antiseptic. It's like listening to a news report. And then he came across the lifeboat, and obviously I sounded angry. And I think that probably matched his anger. You know what I mean? But you just never know what someone's going to be looking for. And yeah, I think it's a great idea, Brittany, and Mark and I are definitely, and the funny thing is, we've been talking about this, right?
We have.
How long have we,
for a long time, actually.
For a long time we've been talking about, and
well, I think it took what happened there to help us realize, because I think the main reason why we were resisting it is because that platform, let's just face it, is a cesspool. It really is at some level. It can be really, really rough. It's not based in our country, number one. I'm not going to go into that, but that is a big reason why that platform is the way that it is.
No question.
And we were really kind of resisting that. But, with my other channel, I have a TikTok, Wages World. And I was posting there, I don't know, just little shorts, just about space weather stuff again. And believe it or not, within like a week, I had 500 people over there watching. And I mean, it was crazy.
It's a platform. Yep. It's definitely a platform.
It's just a 1 minute thing too, though. So, I mean, it's like, okay, well, maybe that's what they need. Some people, and don't get me wrong, people's lives are busy. I get it. But, especially with kids, the attention spans is so small nowadays.
Well, you know what? You talk about a great comment. I mean, one that really, Pam Swan says, I thought about looking for opiates today. And then I saw that you were coming on and it passed just thinking about the video. Wow. That is really cool.
That right there makes it all worth coming back at all, period.
Amen. Pam, I'm so glad that you wrote that down. I really am so glad that you wrote that down. You talk about making it all worthwhile. I mean, there it is. I mean, why we need to be doing what we're doing and why we need to be doing it here. Thank God, for real. I'm so glad that you're here, Pam.
Yeah.
And if you feel weird when the video's over, reach out to us. There's a lot of ways to reach out to us, for real. That's awesome.
We got some pretty exciting stuff coming up too, guys. Not just those platform stuff we just talked about, but we got some interviews and things that we've been working on, and
we do have some really cool stuff happening in the new year. I think everyone's going to love it.
Yeah, I do. I really do. I think it's going to be beneficial to everybody.
Leisure. Hi, Chris. I'm Chris also, and I am a hopefully addicted, dopeless fiend. I've heard that before. I love that. A hopefully addicted, dopeless fiend. I love it.
Yep.
I absolutely love it. I really do. That's good stuff. And it's great. If you're going to be addicted to something, hope is the stuff to be addicted to. You can't get enough of it. I promise you. And it keeps getting better. It just keeps getting better. People, are we having any fun? Is it good to be back? Feels good on this side.
Oh, yeah, man.
You know what? I didn't officially ring in the bobblehead, which is rotten. I mean, we've been talking the whole time, but it really is kind of a tradition.
Yeah.
For no other reason, so that everybody in there can write bobblehead, because it always makes me happy when they do that. So I probably should have done that. But Jesse Brown says, Pamela, proud of you and proud to be part of this crew, saving lives with the love we share.
Yeah, I know. Just keeps coming, doesn't it? It's awesome. That's, it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, you guys can see the emotion on his face, and I'm feeling the same way. And it's, guys, you don't know how hard we struggled doing what we did to begin with, moving everything over to Facebook. That was hard for us, because I think we both, well, lack of a better word, I think we kind of felt defeated at some level. But then it took those that were trying to defeat us to wake us up, I guess. I don't know. I really don't even know what to put words there. It's
you listen to this comment. This has been amazing. I love you all so very much. You are my family, Alan Ballantyne. Alan, you know something? I love you, brother. And I am glad that we're getting close to the top of the hour because I don't know how much longer I could keep it without losing it. Brittany, as I said, so glad to have started the night with each and every one of you. I love this boat. You know what? I do too. I love this boat. I do. And it seems a lot more obvious when it's on Facebook. I don't know why that is. I'm sorry, on YouTube rather. I don't know why that is, but I don't know. I feel it a whole lot more here. And whoa, how you doing? Yeah. It's good to be back. Yeah, you like that?
Cat.
But it is really good to be back. You know what? She couldn't make the whole day. It would have been an absolute miracle had she made the whole day, but that simply wasn't possible.
I just want to know how you got your tripod right back to the same spot.
You know something? Fortunately, she only hit the camera.
Okay.
Yeah, she hit the little arm on the camera. 76 says the alcohol was calling earlier. I had to say no. Well, you know what? We're proud that you did. We really are. And you know something, people? Keep fighting the good fight. It is New Year's, and they're going to ring this in at the top of the hour. It's going to become 2022. And you know something? The New Year's resolutions, all of that, you know, those are great. But what it really boils down to is the mundane things that you got to do every single day to make it work. And the best that you can do is to plug in. I'm telling you the truth. Surround yourself with people who are positive. Surround yourself with people that want to make their life better and watch what happens. You draw energy to yourself with what you surround yourself with. The reason that people get addicted to the lifeboat is because it feels good. It really does. It's not like other things. There is a love among this family and among this group of people that I have never seen any other place, not in person, you know, not anywhere. Another thing that Mark and I have been talking a lot about, and then we accidentally, as a crew, stumbled upon doing it in a smaller form. We had talked about the possibility of doing a huge Zoom kind of a thing. And then, like I said, we accidentally did it on a chat group. And we popped up and it looked like the Brady Bunch. You know, we had about 8 different small boxes where we could see all of the people. And it was amazing. It really was. And I think that that's something we're going to be playing with in the future as well. I don't mean on every single, would be absolutely impossible to do this on every call. But I think every once in a while, we'll probably do something where people can see one another. It does grow the bonds, you know, of brother and sisterhood a little closer. And I think it's something that we're going to play with in the future. Mark showed me some really cool toys, like where he had what looked like a classroom. You know what I mean? Where I could stand in the front like a college professor and my picture would be there and everybody else sits out. And there were so many cool things and he just kept hitting buttons and I'm watching everything change. There was some really cool stuff that we got a chance at. Ben Genetics, trolls got very aggressive and personal with some people. Yeah, you know, the fact that you don't know exactly what we were talking about, that's a blessing. But what it boils down to is this. They go after us every day. And we're used to it. We really are. It's a joke. We don't watch it anymore. We've asked people nicely not to send it to us. You know, we don't take emails from people we don't know. There are things you can do to just push them out of your life and not worry about it. And we've been very successful with that. And then, you know, they clowned on some things that people had said in the chat format. And honestly, you know, things that were so personal that people brought up from their past, and these people clowned on it. And the best, oh wow, and the best part is, look at this, Keith and Queen Brett. Hey, good to see you, brother. Keith, I'm glad you're here, man.
My brother Keith, what's going on?
Yeah, I was talking about you with Mark earlier. Happy New Year, brother.
You're awesome,
but to make
man.
a long story short, you know, we sort of bailed off for that reason. And so many people reached out to us and said, you know what, don't walk away from that platform on my account, or don't walk away from that platform because of what happened. And we've learned, we've adjusted. Now there are places when we really need to open up and we want, that kind of privacy. There are places we can go to do that. But to find the people that we are looking to help, this is where we find them.
Right.
Am I right?
Oh yeah, 100%. And I would say, guys, if you're not over on the Facebook page, you know, if you need help, obviously, Tommy would talk to you before you got admitted in. Typically, is how it happens, because it is one of those places where we get really, really personal. So, and that's, you know, I think that was our biggest problem. We were trying to strike a balance on how to do that, and we just didn't quite know how to get that accomplished. And I think that because of all this stuff, it's actually helped us figure it out. And
truthfully, and I think we lost sight of the fact that you can get really comfortable playing a game not to lose, like playing a prevent defense. But we didn't build the lifeboat playing not to lose. You know, we built the boat playing to win, and then we got into this prevent defense mindset, and we're gonna go hard in 2022.
That's right.
I promise you, we're going hard in 2022.
Yep.
And 2023, but this is going to be a year that for years to come we're going to talk about.
I would challenge you guys to go back and watch one of the first live streams that we did, or even some of the older videos before we started doing live streams, and just compare to what you're seeing. You know, what we're doing here is actually, it's progressed in a way, and it's a healthy progression, because things are, you know, just simple stuff like the background. You know, I mean, that kind of stuff. I know people don't think that makes a difference, but it makes a difference to somebody new. Because if they come in here and it looks like they're inside a barn with a bunch of hay everywhere, I mean, are you really going to pay a whole lot of attention to that kind of stuff? Again, dress like a golfer and you'll golf like a golfer. Is kind of what I'm saying.
No question. Alan Valentine, he says, we will make the coming year great together. We can do this. All of you. We are going to do this. And you know something, people? We made it an hour and 2 minutes before one of those crazy Australians mentioned Vegemite. Right? You knew Fiona was not going to let this day go by without the mention of Vegemite.
Vegemite fruitcake of all things. Oh my God.
Right? Well, and here's the thing. You know, I got a message of things that I could be eating to do like we did with Systroming, you know, to try to get more people to see the boat. And one of the things that was recommended was a cheese from Italy that they actually have maggots in intentionally.
Yeah.
And they're, you can't sell it outside of Italy, but you know, this was a suggestion. As foul a suggestion as that is, I would do that before I would make the mistake of eating Vegemite again. I would probably go with that maggot. Do you know that after that little stunt, this little animal had the guts to climb back up on my lap, get in this basket, and try to go back to sleep? If you knew I'm going to run this cat around, there's no way we're allowing this to happen for the rest of the evening. Can you see that? How cute that little animal is.
Squirrel.
There you go. That's what you get for knocking over the entire system. Yeah, she's something, people. And you know, the people, if you're new or you weren't here for the naming of all that, when I told the crew that I was getting a cabin cat, we had a little like impromptu, what should we name the cat session? And the number one name that everybody came up with was Squirrel, because I have a tendency to read a comment that will take me off in a direction that has nothing to do with whatever I was talking about, and rarely get back to whatever I was talking about, kind of like a dog with a squirrel. So that was the popular name. There was a couple of other ones, but the one that really everybody seemed to lock on was Squirrel. So when I went and found this little animal, I walked into the cat room and she was just screaming. Meow, meow, meow. So I went over and put my hand in the cage, and she sort of fell onto it. The cat instantly loved me, and or certainly showed that she wanted to go home. And the woman there said, "I think this cat chose you, not the other way around." So I said, "All right, I want it. Before anybody gets it, like this is my cat." So I went over to fill out, and the woman said, "You got to go get the name off of the cage." So I walked back in, and I look, and there's the picture of the cat, like a mug shot, and the name below it is Squirrel. And I mean, you talk about just, I went, you gotta be kidding. You know, so it was great. It's the first time I've ever adopted a cat that I didn't have to change the name of as soon as I walked out of the building. She is, and she's nutty as the droppings of a squirrel, so it worked out. She's a good little animal. People, we are at that 1 hour mark, but before anybody gets upset, we'll be back. We'll be on YouTube. Stay tuned. I'll be announcing it tomorrow, but you know something? If you haven't hit the bell for notification, make sure you hit all, right? Go back there and check to see if you have hit all, because we'll be going live more than you think. I promise. This is where we're supposed to be. And just keep doing what you're doing. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. Between now and the next time that we get together, I want you to reach out there and I want you to try to save somebody. I am Captain Tommy Scoville. On the other side of the glass,
Mark Wages.
So happy to hear him say that. You don't have any idea. Happy New Year, brother. Happy New Year to all of you, and we will see you on the boat. God bless.